Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Naples Zoo. This is our lion habitat, and we're so excited to show you the lions this morning and to talk all about the cubs and how they came to be. Right now they're enjoying their enrichment. They have a couple of barrels you'll see in the yard. That blue barrel hanging up over there by Dad, and then they have some browse or some different branches that are hanging from those barrels, and the cubs are so destructive. They love to rip everything up, and they'll rip all those leaves off of that branch. So they're going to have a good time today with their enrichment. So right now you're getting an up-close look at Karoo. This is one of our little boys, and I say little, but they are each about 185 pounds now. And then this is his brother Ruaha that's walking across right now behind him. And then Chobi is our other little boy, and I don't know where he is right now. He's hiding or something. Maybe he's playing with something in the back, but I'm sure he'll show up. Or he's sneaking right around this window here. So you'll see him as we talk about the lions. And then there's Dad back there, very majestic. His name is Masamba, and he is 11 years old. He's about 430 pounds. He's a big boy. And he eats about maybe 9 pounds a day. So if you can picture a big 16-ounce steak, Dad's out there, I know you could picture one of those. Can't wait to go back to the restaurants to get one. So 16-ounce steak times 9, that's just what he has for breakfast. So, you know, that's pretty impressive. And then Mommy's right here in the front, if we're going to pan to her a little bit soon. And she is about 14 years old. She came to us from the Akron Zoo up in Ohio. Shout out to the zookeepers there. They took a very good care of Shani before she came here, and she was recommended to breed with Masamba, and they have been together for about 7.5 years now. And we were waiting year after year after year. We're like, where are the cubs? We want some cubs. And finally, we were blessed. We noticed that Shani had some development on her belly, and so we did a radiograph, and we found one itty-bitty little cub inside her belly. So we were so excited. There's Mommy now. We were so excited that Shani was pregnant. We thought we were having one baby. So we set her up so that she had a den of her own so that she could have her baby in the den. Hi, Mama. Oh, I just love them. So we set her up. We put some cameras on her. Hi. Oh, just want to smooch ya. But no, that's a bad idea. Look at those teeth. Nope. She knows how to open her mouth when I go like this with my fingers. I wasn't sure if she'd do it through the window, but she would do it if I was holding a piece of chicken. So anyway, we set up her den, and she was separated from Masamba when it was about time to give birth, and she had her one little cub, and we got to see it on the cameras. She likes her privacy, so we had a couple cameras set up on her, and then in a couple hours there were 2 cubs, so that was really exciting. And then a couple hours more there were 3, so oh my goodness, now we have 3 babies, and she did such a good job. I actually have a picture of her nursing her babies in her den, and this was the camera that we were able to look at her. But if too many people were looking at the camera, it would crash, so it was very tempting to watch her all the time, but we had to take turns. So you can see the babies there nursing. She's such a good mom. We're so proud of her. So they were itty-bitty little potatoes there. Oh, here's a nice picture. Oh my goodness. And lion cubs, they're born with spots, and as they get older, those spots will fade away, and that's really good for camouflage, so that they can be safe from predators. And in the wild, Mom would move the cubs. Oh, here's some cubs right here. Look how big they are now. So in the wild, Mom would move the cubs from den to den. So we gave Shani a couple different options to move her cubs because then she feels safer. As the den gets stinkier every day from them living in it, once they move to a new den, it's nice and fresh, and also it won't attract predators as easily. Yeah, so now they're a whopping 185 pounds. Back then, when they were tiny tots, you know, here's a little sassy picture when they were little. I believe that's Carew. He's our sassy man. Oh, so cute. And here's another one. Oh, almost as tall as their water bowl. Now they're big monsters. And Dad, like I said, is 430 pounds, so we're expecting them all to get just as big. Oh, here's them getting a little bit bigger. So as they were getting bigger, oh my gosh, so cute with the tongue sticking out. As they were getting bigger, they started following Mom around a little bit more, so we were able to get them access to the yard. And they started following their mom and kind of looking at their dad through the fence. But they still were not with their dad yet, and that's how things go in the wild. Usually once Mom notices that the cubs are following her, then she will lead them back to Dad and introduce them. So I have also a newspaper clipping here of when we introduced the cubs and Mom to the yard. I just found this and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'll show you guys. So cute. Look how itty bitty. They're not even a foot off the ground. They grow up so fast. All children grow up so fast. So then, once they were comfortable in the yard, we decided to give them a howdy door between them and their dad. You can see their spots still on their legs there. So then they were starting to go and sniff Dad, and they would touch nose to nose, and everything was very positive, so we decided it was time to introduce Dad to the pride. So once we opened the door, they all ran around together, and Dad was so scared of the babies. It was really funny. He was like, oh my gosh, what are these things coming towards me? So he hid out on top of our platform in the yard and just kind of looked down at the babies for a while because he just wasn't sure about them. They were kind of crazy. They still are kind of crazy. So then the cows started getting a little bigger, and then they were able to go up on the platform with Dad, so he had to get used to them, and he did by then. Every time a cub would go near him, Mom would be right next door, ready to defend her cub, but every time Masamba, the dad, he was really nice to the babies, and he'd let them smell him, and he would touch noses with them and rub their necks together, and it was very, very cute. Let's see if I have any more pictures here. Oh.
Someone asked how old are they now?
Good question. So they were born in May last year, so they're almost a year old already. Oh my gosh, they're 11 months.
Another question is, what is
Questions?
I think that's all of our questions. Good morning from Tampa, Diana. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for all joining us. We love having everybody join us for our Facebook Live. Sorry, I was looking through questions there.
Aw, he's so handsome. Such a just me. And you'll see when we pan to the kids, they're starting to get their manes. We don't have them in a very good sight right now, but we'll show you. They each have little mohawks on the back of their necks, and it's pretty cute. And then they have these like really poofy cheeks, so they're starting to get their manes in, and they're kind of in like the awkward teenage stage of life with their awkward beards. But they are very cute, and their paws are so big already. We were looking in the yard after it rained yesterday or the day before. We were looking in the yard, and we found lots of paw prints, and we weren't sure which ones were the cubs and which ones were the adults. So their paws are really big already. If you want to show the camera on here, when I swipe it'll move a little bit. Oh, so cute. I love that, how those pictures do that.
The live photos.
Live photos. Oh, and here you go. There's another one.
They're climbing on the platform to show you the difference now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think one cub is as big as all three of those cubs now. Looks like Masamba's picking out his spot for his midday nap here. Oh, he had that big breakfast, so now he's got to sleep it off. And today he actually got a bone, which is really exciting. He loves bones, and he chews all the meat off of it.
We have a question. How long will we have them at the zoo?
That's a great question. So as they get older, they probably will want to compete for dominance. So we're expecting the boys, when they're a little bit bigger, to maybe start showing signs that they want to challenge their dad. But usually males, when they grow up together, they really get along nicely together. So hopefully we'll be able to keep them together for a long time, but usually at the age of 2 is when you start seeing them want to be dominant, more dominant than their dad. So we have a plan to have the 3 cubs in one yard once we start seeing these signs, and have mom and dad in the other yard. And also there's a backyard that you can't see right now, so one of those yards that other yard will be utilized. But also, these 3 cubs are part of the species survival plan for South African lions, just like their parents. So their parents were recommended through their genetics and just through this program to be mated together. And you don't always, when you put 2 lions together or 2 animals together, you don't always get babies. So, we actually kind of I gave up after 6 years. I was like, oh my gosh, Shani's 13. I don't think they're going to have babies. Usually in the wild, lions will live about 10 to 12 years. So, at age 13, we were like, I don't know if she's going to have babies. But in a captive setting, like our Naples Zoo here, they can live about 18 to 20 years. So, there's still a chance. So we were really, really thankful when Shani had her babies at the age of 13, then she just turned 14, excuse me. So she's an older girl, but she was a really good mom. But also, like I was saying, they're part of the species survival plan, so they might be matched with females anywhere in an accredited zoo around the country. So they could be going to Green Bay, where Masamba came from, or, all the way across, or right next door, or they could stay here. So it all depends on how many females are born, and it all depends on their genetics, if they will match nicely with those females that are born. We also don't want to, we want to keep genetic diversity, so we don't want to just keep breeding and breeding and breeding lions. There's a reason for it, and we want to make sure we are following those guidelines. Thank you everybody for joining us at the Naples Zoo. I hope that we're going to be open again soon so you can come see the lions in person. They are just awesome to watch all day. You could probably get stuck just sitting here watching those cubs. They're crazy. They'll take about a 20-minute nap now, and then they'll be up and running around again. So we are really excited. We really miss all of you. I know the animals miss you too. Athena, our panther, and the lions here, they love watching people. So we come here to look at the animals, but they actually enjoy seeing you guys come. So we're excited to have you back soon. Thank you, everybody.